driving the cars in the rain, there's a higher chance for crashes to happen. Now this all starts from when I was a kid, when I watched Senna, the F1 driver. He was best known for the quickest, fastest F1 driver when it was raining, because every F1 driver was scared to drive fast, but he was obviously fearless. Coincidentally, obviously they put rules into place, and that's why his F1 car crashed on a rainy day. Niki Lauda said, these are true words, on an F1 race when he was against Paul Hunt. He said that when it rains, the chances of crashing and the chances of survival is 50% double the chances of crashing and someone not surviving. Just have a think about that. 50% chance. I'll drop a clip right now on YouTube of what he actually said. A lot of people like him after obviously the effort that he put in, because he wanted to stop the race happening at the time when he actually did have a very bad accident, and he said to everybody not to race. And obviously Paul Hunt at the time really wanted to win the championship, which he did, but he risked his life. And because after that race they put things in place for people not to cancel the race ahead when it's F1 racing in the rain. So it's a good reminder for us all, including myself, that we're driving in the rain, don't push it to the limit, because you've got a 50% chance of crashing. So I always remind myself growing up when driving, and if you have to give it, if you're late, put your foot down. When it's raining, just be extra careful, because anything can happen by 50% of a chance. Even if you are the greatest drivers in the world, because a lot of greatest drivers in the world even mess up in the rain. So that's why we are taking it easy. I myself experienced quite a few accidents myself, not dangerous ones and not into a car, but the majority happened in the rain, especially if you're in a race car. When you're driving R888 tyres, semi-slicks, there's just a very, very big chance of the wheels spinning out. But this is why the best thing about this car, it drives like a normal car. It's only when you get into boost when the wheels will start spinning up. And the previous owner that had this car modified, the all-force coilover suspension and the car balance, it's been distributed perfectly so that if it ever does lose control, it's manageable. I'm not a racing driver, and I've just got a bit of experience that I've spent all my life driving, but when like driving, like even like fast speed in the bends, I always tend to not press the brakes. When you're pressing brake, you are shifting the weight of the car, and 9 out of 10 times when a person presses brake, the car just loses control. It will either oversteer or understeer. But Senna, he was in Japan once because Honda, they really wanted him to drive the Spoon Civic, and he actually set the record time limit, and they wanted to learn how he did it. And what he would do in a bend is left foot braking and gas at the same time whilst he's turning in the bend, and he was able to make the car go crazy fast in a bend, in a sharp turn, without having to lose control. So he was making the balance of the car same throughout. I've actually tried that myself, and I can say it works. You know, when they say they could be self-taught boxers, let's just say that I self-taught myself driving quick. So again, I'm not a professional racer of any sort, but I'm just going off by what the greatest racers of all time have mentioned. So even Marcus Schumacher does left foot braking, and he's one of the greatest 7-time world champion F1 driver. They do like heel and toe method. I don't tend to do that because you don't need to. It's only when you're going really fast in a bend. But there is one thing that you can do, and that is rev match, so that when you're turning in a bend, if you drop a gear, because the rev bounces, the weight of the car shifts. So by rev matching, you avoid the weight being transferred from back to front, and again, that can make people lose control whilst driving. I think another recommendation for me whilst driving, trying my best not to slam on the brakes and holding onto the brakes. When pressing brake is not to harshly press the brake, applying pressure, because there's a chance of the car losing control again, or overheat the brakes, or use the brakes. Because you know, a lot of the cars I've had in my lifetime, I barely have to change the brake pads, and that's because I don't slam on the brakes all the time. The gears is the best way that I use to slow the car down and rev matching. And if I'm gonna press the brake, I'm gonna tap the brakes, because I'll drop a clip here. You see racing drivers and F1 drivers, their brake lights are constantly like blip. They're like on and off, on and off, on and off repeatedly, because they don't want the brake pads to like go glowing red, because that's when the brakes start to like not work. And if you've ever experienced a car for the ABS to kick in, it makes like a noise and the car doesn't stop. So again, ABS, no ABS, the best method for me is constantly tapping the brakes to slow down. These days a lot of people, especially in automatic cars, DSG cars, you don't have that chance to slow down with the gears. So what a lot of people do with hit 100 miles per hour, see a car popping out, reacting fast and slamming the brakes, and 9 out of 10 times you're asking for an accident. Another advice, you know, a lot of people, they tend to just slam the acceleration and then drop the clutch. That way the wheel's gonna spin and the other person always wins. It's like a drag strip. They have the handbrake up, clutch is like ready, keep the revs about 2000, but then when you go, don't have the revs 2000 and gas more gas, and you always win. Let's go.